Hello everyone and welcome to my first video I've just made on YouTube. It's the first one for me. I hope I won't make too much mistakes. As you may already hear, I'm not a native English speaker, so I hope I won't do too much mistake. I'll make mistakes for sure, but I hope I just won't make too much. This video is about my trading system I just used some time ago, and I was asked today on Twitter what was where does the channel come from. I just explained that it was a fractal channel system, and someone just made a survey, and the crowd said yes, we want some trading videos with the French accent. So here we are. Just before we start, a short disclaimer. It's a trading system I mainly used on Euro USD and on 5 minute system. It's a short trade system. It's a short-term scalping reversal system, but you can grab some big moves. You can get actually some pretty good run. I don't do those, but more than once I just saw the price going in my direction, but I stopped way too earlier, so using a trading stop loss might be a good idea. It's the first point. Second point is it's a system that won't get you a rich overnight. It's not a 100% system, but if done well, you could get near the 100%. You can get about 90%. You just have to take the good one and not trying to be greedy after all, like every system. Yes, I use it more like a reversal system. It's not a trend continuation system because I use fractals, and fractals are my main indicators on this. I use some filters, and I use some other indicators to have some good points, but fractals is the main system. Well, this said, it's actually a fractals are just a part of the system. You don't only use this; you use fractals as a trigger, as a as a point of interest, and to see where price could react, and how much fractals have been there before, how did it went, and what can the price do after all when it is near one. This said, no. What is a fractal? A fractal is there is two sides of the fractals. You have the classic one, the Bill Williams one, which works with 5 candles, and the one I use is a faster one, is 3 candles. You can, by the way, you can get the indicators on MT4 on the marketplace. It's a free one, but you can have it. You can watch the code video. It's all free. Well, a fractal is just a mean of saying where price failed to go, either higher or either lower. What you have when you have a fractal is a higher high, low high, like here. Or you have a lower low, lower low, and lower high. It's just a visualization of the price. The price resistance is a local resistance or local support, where price couldn't get beyond or above and below the precedent price. So here we have a nice fractal where we have a higher high, lower high. Price couldn't get past this level and then bounce back. Here we have the same. We have lower low, lower low, higher low. It's a reversal pattern. Usually the price likes to bounce between fractals, where when a top fractal is broke, price could react to the near fractals, to the next top level fractals. We had the discussion earlier this afternoon about this, on what the price could do. Here we have a clear rejection here, on this price. On the end of the day, we are Friday, so the price won't move anymore. It's a live account, but it's an, as we are Friday, it won't move until Monday. So here you have a rejection of the price just here for about 20, nearly 20 points. Could we predict this move? Actually, if we zoom out and if we look just right left, we have already here one fractal here and a second one here, a lower fractal. Because of polarity, resistance usually becomes supports and supports usually become resistance. So here we had a support just right here. You see the small ditch in the blue line where the price went there, bounce back, go lower, a bit lower, but it's about nearly 1 pip, it's nothing. But price moved there, it just went up to the precedent fractal. You see the level here? It's nearly the same. It's almost the same. And we have a mouse that don't like this. We have one level here, one level here, one level here, and you have this one here. It's almost the same. You can almost predict that the price will test the precedent level of support. So yeah, price went up, down, almost up to the H1 resistance fractal, and brought back to the level of precedent support. When it just went sideways through and then broke the first level, went far down, then retest the precedent support level, go back to this, no, the support level became resistance, and now the precedent support level has been tested again. And when the price broke the lower fractal, it went way lower before testing again, just right here. It seems big, but it's an M1 chart. On IMP5, the price is it's almost the same. It depends on what to look after all. And that's it. And when you break a lower fractal, you can expect a big move on the side it went. The discussion, the talk we had earlier went around this point. Oh, just one last thing about this one. If we see here, could we, apart from these two fractals here, could we predict if we zoom out, if the price had chance to bounce back from here? Yes. If we zoom out, we see the fractal, the fractal here, one here, and you see to the left there's this one, which made a big resistance and rejection back to far lower. So the same same here, which is almost the same level, and the same here too, which is almost the same level. So this price was at an unusually and nearly just this one, yeah, about 3 points. This price had an unusually busy level. We had a lot of interaction with it, and that's the point of the discussion we had earlier on Twitter. When I traded this part, we are talking about could we define, could we predict the price will move this way? And actually, quite. You can see based on the boxes. I don't usually make boxes, so I took them a bit large, but you have margin of error. When you see this level, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7, 8, 9, 10, and you go back there. When the price broke this fractal, and went way up further, you can use it as a level of pullback. If you want to see, and if you want to trade the trend continuation, you can wait for a new fractal to be made on this level and expect the price to go back there. And then you can target the upper level, the next level of activity of the price And you have here the same thing. You have one fractal here, and one, almost 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I hadn't seen that when I posted the screen captures on Twitter, but you have almost the same here. This level was interesting. You can see still the same story here. You can see it was a support, then it broke. Another support, we tested as a resistance level here. Price couldn't get higher. We test off lower, but we have higher high fractals, so you can predict a bit the prices and is making a reversal, a small reversal, but still a reversal. Then we tested H4R1, which is Fibonacci H4 pivot point. And we made a new fractal and we went back to retest. Went up, then down, retest previous support level, and price went in there. But it's a bit messy. You have a lot of intermediary level, which could be guessed by viewing the precedent levels too. And when we talked on Twitter, I said with the price where, if I remember, it was around this point. And no, it was there. Sorry, it was there. And what I said was we were on a decision point. The price had just two choices. It just went a lot higher. It went a big move upward, and price were around there. We had just, it was a decision point. If the only thing we had with clear space here, there's no fractal, there's no levels in this zone. The only choice we had was to either go down to test the precedent level, which was around, if I remember well, I think it was a 68, 69, or we can, the other choice we had was to go upward, but to validate, to make a valid signal, we had to break this one. This one was the point where buyers failed to push the price higher, and it was the moment where we had a high, lower high, and the seller took the hand, the bears took the price. The buyers couldn't push the price higher. Hence, we have a small reversal. And there is a retest here, as this level is a precedent level of support 2. If we zoom out, well, way too far. If we zoom out, we have a lot of activity on this price too. We have all this. We have this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. We have a lot of activity on this point. So yeah, it was quite an interesting level, and price had no much choice. Either test down, well, still too far. Either go down or really break this level. Why I use this system? I don't use it on this. Usually, I don't use it on these small moves because it's a bit risky one. We are a full uptrend, and I don't know. I'm not risky at this point. But what I mainly use, why I mainly use it, is to spot. Is to spot lower point or higher points. My main system is based on reversal. So what I do is I just wait for a move to be made. This one could be a good one. You just wait for a fractal to be made on lower side, and this point it's actually now the H4 pivot point, but it was not the case where the price moved. And you move to a strong move in a direction, and you just wait for a reversal in the fractals. So here, where you have this point here, you see the price made a big move upward, and it just failed to go higher. To go higher on this point was in a zone, in an area of interest, you had some failure before, so you can pretty guess it was expected. Or either on this point, with a pretty good candidates too. What the main move I make is to wait for this fractal to be made and to wait for a rehearsal starting. It's fractal are just a part, so it's one trigger signal, just not the only one. Once the fractal is made, I just open a sell order on this point and set the stop loss just above the previous fractal. So you have a pretty small stop loss. In this case, it should be about 10 points. And I usually target the previous fractal, so it's okay, it's pretty good. It's nearly one, a little above one risk reward. But if you use trading stop loss, I use mainly aggressive stop loss on this kind of trades, as US 30 moves quite fastly. It's pretty fast. So yeah, I'm just open a sell order around. If we zoom in a bit, we have like. Okay, so this is a fractal. Okay, I'll wait for this one. I think at this point the fractal is made. It's just clear. It's just made. It has been made at this point. We have to wait for the close of this candle to be sure. Usually I wait for a pullback or retracement. So I guess maybe I'll take around there. I'll take around there and target this one. Yeah, it's a 10 point, so it's yep. Makes more sense. And yes, once the price is around here, I watch the tick levels to see what you see on the M1 or the M5 or higher time frame is still fractals. What you see in M5 is just a reflector of what is happening in M1. So you can take the same points to see on the tick levels. On the tick levels, you'll see the same system of break, then retest, then up or down. It's all about this, and you can see, you can feel what the tick level are, because the price will usually go up, and then you'll see the price struggle a bit, go higher or lower. And this is usually where I close my orders, or where I tighten my stop loss to be at least at break even. Okay, this was actually the first point of this strategy. Mainly using fractal and place, wait for the other signals to trigger too, which just as a teaser, use mainly this one as a dashboard of moving average with a shifted. There's the 7 shifted EMA and with the all time frame displayed at the same time. So when we're here, we are nearly, I think at this point we should have at least the M5, the M1, the M5, and I don't know, maybe this one too, but we have at least those 4, and this one and this one, I think. And when you see this one start to trigger red, it start to blink red, it's just the EMA one starting to go down. If you are quite aggressive, you can open an order just at this moment. If you want to have confirmation or want to trade, take a bigger trade, you can wait to the M5 to turn red. And when you have this trade, just wait for all the EMA to align with the current, with the smallest time frame, and then you have a big home run. It's quite rare, but it's happened. So yes, it's an aggressive system. It's a really aggressive system. You don't want to take anywhere. You have to filter. If you zoom out, you'll see here. You have here this fractal support on H1. H1. If you switch on H1, zoom up. You have this yellow dotted line, which is a support of H1, and this yellow dotted line, which is a resistance of H1. It's the same system I use on the M1, but with oh, okay. It's the same system I use on M1, but based on the H1. So here you have a lower low, and price couldn't get further down. So price went up. So this is local support. It's not a big support, but it's a H1 support. And price went then up and failed to go higher. It's all a battle of high and low, and at this point buyers failed to push price higher. And at this point, sellers failed to push price lower. So you have a local resistance. You know where buyers are. You know where sellers are. So I use this one with an indicator which prints and display all this level on multiple time frames. On this one, you can see it everywhere actually. On this one, you see the price went down, broke the upper fractal. When you take this kind of move, it's quite risky because you don't know if it's a new move. You don't know if it's a new trend or just a pullback. But when you break the lower fractal, you see the level is quite the same. It's around 5 points. It's not very far. So you can take this one, but it's a bit risky. You have here the lower pullback, retest, but a bit lower. You have the trend here on fractals. Here again. So you have a lower pullback, retest, and then big move. If you're in a hurry, you can take here, you can take here, but it's a bit risky. Or you can take here, which is the retest of the previous top fractal. If this one is made, you have a new level. It was a resistance. Sorry. It's now a support, and then price just have only one choice: is to go up. If you're afraid, or depending on your lot size, you can open here. You have 30 points. 30 points of stop loss, which is fractal of H1, and yeah, it works. It's a support is H4 H4 support 1, sorry, on Fibonacci levels. So yeah, you can, if we wait for the retest, we wait for the fractal to be made, which is around here. You can see the candle already broke this level on close. You can already start here if you are a bit risky, a bit aggressive, and you have 25 points, 24, yeah, okay, 25 points, and you can target a bit higher. You can target on this really interesting level, which is this one, I guess. Well, yeah, almost, but this one is a bit risky. You have a lot of activity, and as you can see, this level was here, and came back later, just here, as a retest too, but on a higher time frame. So here we are. This is how I use fractals to scout and scope the reversals. Just wait for a big move, just wait for price to come on resistance or support, and open your order as soon as you have a new fractal when you are above or near support or resistance, and just move your stop loss just above or just below. If it's a fail, okay, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal as soon as you have a good trade, you have big moves incoming if you wait for the right time, as always. That's all for today. I hope you liked it, and I won't tell you to subscribe, as I think it's the first part of a series of all the tools I use. I think the next time we'll see the Fisher one, which I use as a filter, as an exertion filter. Yeah, I use it to see where a reversal may occur on the current time frame, and it's often it's often pointing where there is a big risk, where the price is overbought or oversold. Well, we can find a good example is this one is not a good one. I think this price is too big. Price is too big. On this one, maybe yes. You see the trend is going upward, and when the price is above this level, which is around, I mainly use on target 7.5. And when the price is staying this way, you can predict the price will make at least a small pullback. So it's not the moment to enter right here. Apart from the fractals, it's not a good moment to enter and to take a trade or take a reversal one. That was the point against again here, where you had an exertion of the seller, and you see the Fisher was pretty low, and then bounced back. Every time you have a point just right here or just above, it's just a signal to not go in the trend, just avoid it and wait for a pullback. Well, that's it for today. I hope you learned something. I don't know, maybe not. And I'll see you next time for the rest on, yeah, Fisher on the dashboard. See you next time. Have a good night.